So I have 6 of our most esteemed guests with us, and I'm going to give them an opportunity to sort of introduce themselves and tell you guys a little bit about what's going on with their businesses. And we're going to kind of focus on what's happened just in the past, 30, 60, 90 days. Because again, with the economy the way it is, with real estate values plummeting, with, banks overwhelmed with files, and all this crazy stuff going on, I want to just drive home to all of you guys in the crowd. If there's anyone in this crowd who still has an objection and whether they think they can make money in this market, by the time we're done, we should squash that problem or objection. Okay, because the panel that I have up here, the amount of success that they're having in the market that we're in is tremendous. And I'm sure that the majority of you have your own story. For those of you guys that have been in real estate for a while, you guys may have a similar story. You guys may be doing a tremendous amount of deals and making a tremendous amount of money. But the truth is that real estate and doing events like this, for me, the most exciting part is hanging out with individuals, just hanging out with guys at the breaks, hanging out at the craps table, just getting to know people. Because everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own goals, their own vision for their company, and every one of these guys does their business a little bit different. But they're all having, just recently, and they've been having for a long time, an incredible amount of success. So what we want to kind of focus on is, Jason, don't just brag about yourself, okay? What I want you to do is kind of talk about what's been going on, what your background is a little bit, and at the end, after you've had a chance to tell them a little bit about what's happening in your business, maybe give them 1 or 2 really good pointers that you think they can go home and implement to help them make some extra money on all their short sale deals. Okay, actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we start with the ladies? That's the manly, I guess, pleasant, the right thing to do. So we'll start down here. So this is Wendy Thomas. I won't introduce Wendy. I might embarrass Sabrina here, huh? But Wendy, go ahead. Tell us where you're from. Tell us a little bit about your background, what level of coaching that you're in, and just kind of what's been going on in your business, and then give us a couple good tips, 1 or 2 good tips to sort of help implement in their business. And if I'm you guys, I am writing notes. I am taking notes, and I'm writing down everything these guys say. So Wendy, kick us off. Thanks.
Wendy Thomas from Denver. I've actually been in the real estate business for probably about 8 years. I started as a mortgage broker and then jumped into real estate investing, and just this last July I got my license as a real estate agent. So we'll see how long that lasts. But I love doing short sales. It's a great niche for me. One thing I would tell everybody is, when I started, I thought that I needed to know every single thing. And really what I needed to do is just go out and do it. Get your first deal, get out there, and just do it. There's all kinds of ways that you can get leads coming in and all that, but all I would say was just definitely just go out and do it. And let's see, what else do I need to talk about?
Tell us a little bit about what's happened for you just in the past 6 months.
Oh, in my business, when I first started, it was just me and my business. So I was talking to the customers and the homeowners, getting all the paperwork signed, doing the loss mitigation, and then handing it off to an agent to sell it. And now I have my own team. I have 2 negotiators on my team, and they're awesome. We're bringing on a 3rd person, and we're just going to have her basically be another negotiator. And I have a great partnership with one of my negotiators, because what she does a lot of times is I bring in the lead, she goes out and does all the rest of the work, and then when the bank gets the approval, then it comes back into my hands and I exit the property. And so that's basically how my business is now. And I'm running about 20 files at a time. It's not a ton, but it's enough for me and for my partners. And we're closing about 9 out of 10 files. So I'm really proud of my team.
That's wonderful. Closing 9 out of 10.
Yep.
Tremendous. How are you doing that?
I have a great negotiator.
Okay.
She builds great rapport with the BPO agents as well as the loss mitigators within the banks. And the way that my business model is set up is I've got a buying company, then I've got my negotiation company, and then I have my exit company. So I have it all strategically put together so that all pieces just basically fit and they work. And we're closing 9 out of 10 files.
That's great. Give me an idea what's happened in the past couple months with closings. And I mean, you were very adamant when I asked you, how's your business doing? And you're like, dude, we're doing just as much business, if not more, than we've ever done with this economy. Actually, there's some files or homeowners that we're turning away just because I don't have the time to work with them. So that's kind of why we're adding another negotiator onto our team, because I want to be able to not have to do that. Any change that I've seen in the last few months is basically with the homeowners. I'm noticing that more homeowners are a little bit more educated with knowing what's out there because of all the media and stuff going on in the economy. They know about Hope Now, the government bailout. So they're doing a little bit more research themselves before they actually fall into my hands, which has been very interesting because they have gotten nowhere with any of those phone numbers and any of those contacts, and they end up in my lead pool. Okay. And you've been in our coaching program since, I believe it was January?
Yep. So
you joined us with January? How have things changed, in the past 10, 11 months, just since you've been with us? I mean, what's been happening? How have you changed things? Tell us a little bit about that.
I would probably say the biggest change is probably changing my business model and adding the separate entities to submit to the bank. Build great relationships with everybody here. I have awesome friends, and we keep in constant contact. And just knowing that you have that pool of other short sale investors on your team that you can go to and your coaches, it's just been awesome.
Thanks. Tell us about your first real estate deal.
My first real estate deal was a short sale with an investor who fraudulently bought several homes. I think he had 4 properties, non-owner occupied properties. At that time, I was at about a 20% closing ratio. But that was my learning experience. But then as soon as I continued to learn, I got up to 60%, 80%, and now we're at 90%. But I don't really remember too much about the details on my first deal.
Okay. But I think the point, what I was trying to get to was, even for me, my very first deal, you're intimidated and you're scared and you're not really sure how to put the thing together. But the very first thing that Wendy said was just go do it anyway.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is on my first deal, my mom was my notary, so she came with me. And when I left, I was like, how did I do? She's like, I would have bought a property from you, or I would have let you do this short sale for me. So that gave me the confidence I needed. But that was the thing. You just need to get out there and just do it. That's all I have to say, just do it.
And if you could give these guys one tip besides just do it, maybe a tip you learned from a deal, working with realtors, or loss mitigation, what's maybe one critical thing that you would give them as a piece of advice?
Sure, put me on the spot. Can I think about it and get back to you?
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds good. Yeah.